Now today, in court, you know, we are talking about the election petition. My brother, my sister, now during the election, we all saw what we saw. Innocent Ghanaians were shot and killed. We saw macho men fighting and beating up some people at some polling stations. We saw how an election was flawed. There are a lot of Ghanaians who are still playing the ostrich, trying to convince themselves that it was all free and fair. My brother, my sister, a nation cannot move forward with this pretense. Election that the president in power right now, Nana Addo, says was free and fair. Now you check it out. People were shot and killed. Election results were mentioned differently 3 times and even over, and each time the results changed. Better still, each time there was a final over the last final. Today in court, many were those who expected that the author of all this confusion, I'm talking about the East, would have the boss, my brother, my sister, in the name of Jean Mensa, mount the box and tell the whole of Ghana how clean her mind has been and how free and how fair the elections have been. Remember, the whole world has its eyes on Ghana. At the same time, whatever would happen in Ghana, my brother, my sister, would be a yardstick to quit and to tweak other Africans in different countries. My brother, my sister, Ghana has been seen as a country that leads, at least in West Africa, when it comes to democracy. A lot of people mention Ghana anytime people are talking about Pan-Africanism and democracy. A lot of people see Ghana, a country of about 30 million people, as the pace setter when it comes to Pan-Africanism and democracy. It's not for nothing. It's because our predecessors worked very hard to be able to put us on this pedestal. But we have some armed robbers of democracy. We have some dangerous vampires of democracy who are avowed, my brother, my sister, to suck the blood of democracy until it becomes anemic and dies from serious hemorrhage. My brother, my sister, today Jean Mensa was supposed to be in the box, and we were told that, oh, she would not be in the box anymore because the respondent has decided that no, we are not going to provide witnesses anymore. It's finished. My brother, my sister, if you claim you won the election, what do you have to hide? You claim that you are the right winners of the election, right? A man who thinks that he is clean, when he's walking, he doesn't look back. Now, a man who knows he's very dirty-minded is even frightened by his own shadows. Why will Jean Mensa not be in the box? And tell the whole of Ghana, because presently she's the one most important personality in these elections. For me, if I were these people on the other side, I will put her in the box. You are clean. Whatever answers you give are nothing but the truth, right? Go ahead and tell us the truth that you claim you have told Ghanaians all this while. Repeat that so that the judges there would put that into their law books, tweak it around, turn it around, and let's see the final product that comes out of it. But I hear people say, oh, Mahama did not testify, and for that matter, why should Jean Mensa testify? Who is Mahama? Mahama says the elections are flawed. He has given his reasons. His lawyers are there fighting. Now there's one single person who took around these elections and made these elections so flawed is the EC. Why would the EC not come out and tell us exactly what it is. In the court, you said go to court. They have gone to court. Bring your witnesses, let us interrogate them. And that is war. We have changed our mind. We are not bringing any witnesses anymore. So that what? Remember, Ghana, all eyes are on you. If the Supreme Court justices, in fact, who want to bring a very, 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 very good name and good reputation to the profession, as many people are already in the line knocking on the door of law so that they will go to the law school and also become lawyers. It's all because they see the lawyers and the judges as very wonderful people who will bring justice on a silver platter. Otherwise, my brother, my sister, law will become so useless in this country that anytime you mention law, everybody will be running away because it would have been reduced to dying embers. My brother, my sister, we hope and pray that all these legal jingoisms, all these gymnastics, playing with the taxpayer's mind and the taxpayer's money, it makes me angry every time I watch what happens in the court. I get so mad that these people are playing with the minds of the taxpayer. You sit in air-conditioned law courts, the taxpayer pays for that. When you go on break, you go and eat. Who gives you food to eat? Who pays the lawyers? Whose money is used to pay the lawyers and the judges? What is it all about? That we live in a country and some people are so interested in just running around and playing cartoon characters. At the end of the day, I pray that the court is able to put a strong foot on the whole caboodle so that there will be justice that will be undeniable. Now, apart from that, what is this dirty wig that these lawyers wear on their heads? The dirty wig that they wear on their head, what is that? The white man bequeathed that to you several millions of years ago. You still wear that dirty wig on your head. Do you know what you look like when you wear those dirty wigs on your head? Can you decolonize your minds, all these lawyers and judges and all these people? And the cloak that they put on themselves, don't they see that they look like occultists? Why don't you wear some African print in order to be able to promote the industry? My brother, my sister, the textile industry in Africa. You wear a wig and only God knows which dead white man's hair that is on your head. And you stand in court looking like caricatures. Can we be Pan-African for once? Can we throw away those dirty wigs? Colonial mentality. Colonial wigs. The dead white people whose hair they used to make that, by now their bones have even rotten. And we are still here in Africa wearing these wigs on our heads. And we look like nothing but occultists. We look like people who just dropped from Mars. We have spoken about this time and again. You fought for independence, yet your mind is still colonized. If the white man does not say it is right, it is never right. The white man left us with laws that are so useless and do not even work for us. Yet, all the so-called learned friends, or our friends who are learned, are not able to get into the law books and expunge some of the things that the white man bequeathed to us that has never helped us all this while. My brother, my sister, I know that every profession has its code of dressing. But the code of dressing for these people, my brother, my sister, is abysmal. It's nauseous. It's terrible. You wear some wig on your head. What is that? What is that? You all look like occultists in what you wear? Can you for once wear some nice African print? Even if you want a cloak, can you use an African print for that? If you want a wig, please, can you use something like a turban around your head? But no, they will continue to wear the dead white man's hair on their head night and day. If they don't wear that, no, they are not lawyers and judges. They have to wear that to glorify the dead bones of the white man who introduced them to this occult. Remember some time ago we talked about the dressing of the police. In the hot tropical African sun, police people wear black, running in this hot sun. And when you become sun-stroked, you say you don't understand. Common sense. Common sense. They will tell you that, oh, from colonial era, we have been dressing like this because the white man who colonized you did not mean any good for you anyway. Remember, he made you walk barefoot. Remember, he only gave you food after he was fully satisfied and did not have any use for the crumbs from off the table. So he gave it to you like his dog. He only gave you the opportunity to wear shoes or even socks once you mastered his language and you could communicate with him. Read history. Go back to your history. Get to know what it is. And you will know that you need to decolonize your minds. Right now, slavery is not chains around your arms and your leg. The chains have been taken off your arms and your legs and put right there on your brain, in your mind. And until you learn to remove that chain from your mind, you will speak all the Shakespearean English, all the Elizabethan English, yet you will speak all those things back into slavery. You will speak your Shakespearean English back into slavery. You will speak your Elizabethan English back into slavery. You will dress like the white man back into slavery. You will talk like the white man back into slavery. You will eat like the white man back into slavery. And you will see that there's no forward for you, even when Nkrumah says forward ever. My brother, my sister, it is so abysmal that all this while, our lawyers and judges will still wear, I don't know if it's pigtail or it is some dead white man's hair that they accumulate on their heads, and they look like comedians, occultic comedians, when they stand there and they are talking and all that. And somebody change this thing. It is only occultists who cannot change. This is how we do it, and it must remain like that, even if it is detrimental to us, because that's what our ancestors did. No way. It's a world that changes, and those who are able to tweak themselves and be abreast with time are the only survivors. That's why we say only the survivors can fit. You've worn those occultic clothing from only God knows when. You still wear them. You feel so hot. Wherever you go, you still wear them. If you don't wear them, you cannot talk. You will not win a case. Hallelujah to the bongo clippings. To God be the glory. I dash away all these things and go into the next one. Honorable Chichinga Mutaka. Now this man came out and told the whole Ghana and the whole world for that matter that a Supreme Court judge had called one of his colleagues, offering a bribe to her at the time that they were trying to vote in the Parliament House to pick a speaker. Right now, Mutaka has come out to apologize, and he just fell short of saying, what I said is a lie, or what I said is the truth. All he said was, I apologize for all that I said. I retract everything, hook, line, and sinker, because I do not want to go into talking about this matter anymore. My brother, my sister, we all remember Ras Mubarak saying in the Parliament House that Shatawale had been paid some huge amount of money by the nation to promote a certain product. It was denied. After some time, we saw Shatawale promoting the thing. Now, the denial might probably be in the biggest Ras Mubarak mentioned. Up till now, the jokers of a country that we are, we haven't gone into it. We haven't come up with truth. Nothing has come out. We will all die with this matter buried for life. We are so good at that. We unearth the problem, and like nonchalant people, careless, irresponsible people, we never own up and hold the bull by the horn. We rather hold the bull by the tail. And the bull starts wagging us around like a rag doll. Fop, 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 like in a cartoon character play. My brother, my sister, we make allegations. And like the comedians that we are in this country, nobody follows these things up. The world is laughing at us. If one person was made a scapegoat, if one person was made to vomit the truth after the allegation, we will all behave like patriotic citizens, responsible, mounted. But as it stands right now, you can throw any wild allegations. No wonder ministers will come out and tell you that a big bunch of plantain is 2 cedis. Maybe in his hometown, or maybe in his bedroom. Because even Kelewele, that I like so much, now I go to buy it at 2 cedis, and they look at me like some alien who just dropped from Mercury. They look at me as if I was crazy. Sometimes they speak Ghana to me, and because I don't understand, I just sit back and watch them, and I know that they are questioning my mental status by asking for Kelewele for 2 cedis. Can we be serious as a nation? Mutaka said that a Supreme Court judge tried to offer a bribe to one of his colleagues when they were going to the Parliament House to vote to pick a speaker. Today he's withdrawn it, hook, line, and sinker, and apologized. What punishment comes with that? So that next time we speak, we will speak responsibly. What happened to Ayaruga? He also made an allegation like that. Remember when they said that some minister or so who was going to be vetted had paid some bribe to some people? Ayaruga. At the end of the day, he came and stood there and apologized. My brother, my sister, if it was somebody from Nima, somebody from cantonments, somebody from Winneba, somebody from Choco, or somebody from Bakati Hill who had said this, so, well, this is just a citizen. A citizen could just say anything, but you are a lawmaker. You are somebody who has the people following you because they voted in an election to have you where you are. All these people are mentioned. In fact, spoke in their capacities as lawmakers. Ras Mubarak, the same time, Muntaka and Ayarga. Lawmakers. Is it not a comic relief when we have the same lawmakers say that parliament is so cheap that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can be a parliamentarian right now? The same lawmakers sit on TV and on radio and threaten to kill and burn people alive. Up till now, my brother, my sister, the country is extremely quiet. Nobody is following up on anything. In Ghana, we can have an issue right now. All 30 million comedians will come out and make noise about it, and that ends it. The police will pretend to be investigating. For the next 178 years, they are still investigating. The CID boss will die. His great-grandson will die. The great-grandson's brother is also dead. And the matter is still being investigated in courts. How do you serve justice to the citizens? They forget most of the time that the taxpayers' money deserves better than just this comedy. My brother, my sister, let's think about this critically. We must build a critical thinking generation. A generation of the youth who are critically thinking. When you think critically, nobody can take you for a ride. When you think critically, no comedian can come around you and play with your mind. That is why in this country, we all believe in holy water and holy oil. As against hard work. We believe that holy water is enough to give us all the millions we have without hard work. Even Jesus Christ had to work hard. He was a carpenter. And if you believe holy water or holy oil, or speaking in tongues, or some bansiri around your waist can give you all the money, you deserve to be on another planet where hard work is not found. That is why we have thieves all over the place. The youth are not taught to think critically. They are taught to steal. In this country, their mentors are the politician thieves. In this country, the mentors of a lot of these youth are nothing but the thieving politicians. They see how he was a nothing. He became a politician and he has everything. They also want to toe that line from nothing to everything by way of stealing. Think about it, my brother, my sister. In this country, when you see people working hard, a lot of these people laugh at them because hard work in this country alone never pays. Sakawa pays more than hard work. Thieving, politicking pays more than hard work. Think about it, my brother, my sister. In these times, we must open our ears. We must open our eyes. We must sit back and watch properly, or else the times that are coming are very dangerous, and we would all be swept off our feet if we don't open our eyes very, very well. We will be swallowed by the tides of time. We will be swallowed by our own greed. My brother, my sister, I dash this away and I'll deal with the next thing. Now, at the Takrade hospital, something happened a few weeks back. Listen attentively. A woman who supposedly had BP or whatever it was, all of a sudden collapsed and was sent to the Takrade hospital, the government hospital. My brother, my sister, the doctors took on this woman and quickly came out to say that the woman had died. So the family started crying, went back home, announced it to the whole of the family, near and far, that the woman had died. The husband cried all night, could not sleep. The following day, they decided to go so that at least the body will be prepared for whatever ceremony, whatever ritual, only for them to go and see the woman sitting back alive. My God have mercy. How come a dead woman, pronounced dead medically by the doctor on duty, qualified doctor, how did the dead woman wake up? My brother, my sister, the mortuary man told the whole story. In fact, the woman was wheeled into the mortuary and she was laid amongst other dead people in quotes. A lot of them were accident victims. Some of them, their limbs cut off. Some of them, their heads mashed up. And this woman was laid in between them. But the mortuary man decided that, hey, because of the goriness of the scene, in other words, because of the bloody nature of the place, he would go out and drink some apetishi. I'm yet to see one mortuary man in Ghana who doesn't drink apetishi. The work is so hard, yet is least paid. The hardest work in this country is least paid. So much man decides to go out and drink a quarter of apetishi before coming to prepare these dead bodies for the refrigerator. In the morgue, he returns and sees this woman sitting amongst the dead people. Oh, Jesus Christ, to God be the glory. If it was the mortuary man in my village, you know what he would have done? He would have picked a very big hammer that he claims is a spiritual or magical hammer for ghosts. Will knock the head of this woman, bang, and kill her properly. But what did the mortuary man do? He walked, maybe because the appeal was in the eyes. He walked to the woman and said, "Hey, mommy, I dying." Now the woman looked at him and said, what am I doing here? Why have you brought me amongst all these dead bodies? She was asking, where's my husband? Why have you brought me amongst these dead bodies? Now, the mortuary man, my brother, my sister, who was high on appetition, now ran to the doctor and told the doctor, hey, one of the dead bodies is up. Now the doctor becomes frightened because he has never seen a dead person wake up. But he decides to call another doctor and yet another doctor and 2 security men to come around and check. The security men went in there first amidst cold feet, shaking as if Jesus Christ was coming. Hey! There they saw the woman sitting amongst the dead bodies, still crying. And the doctor was bold enough and asked the woman to be brought back into the ward. The woman was brought back. He ran his test, and then they started to he started to give her some infusion, intravenous infusion. So she was still on those infusions when the family returned early morning the next day, probably to carry the dead body, only to be told that the woman had returned to life. My brother, my sister, well, I placed a couple of calls to the hospital, and I was told, listen attentively, that day there were so many accident victims, and that was the only doctor on duty. He had to deal with all these accident victims and so on and so forth. One doctor ran from one ward to the other. He probably was overwhelmed, or better still, obviously was overwhelmed with whatever happened. And you who will show a small sign of death, you will rot in the fridge. My brother, my sister, how many such people have been declared dead? And this time around, the mortuary man did not go out to drink apetishi to give enough time to these dead bodies in quotes to resurrect. How many of our relatives, friends, and family have gone into the grave alive? Today, this matter has not been investigated. No investigation yet is in the news. The Ministry of Health, the health, whatever in Ghana, have they heard about it? What have they said about it? Today, as I speak, the woman is still alive in Takoradi. Only God knows if it was in my village. You know what they will do? They will find a way of killing this woman or sending this woman away in exile. We call that banishment. They will banish her and call her a ghost. All her children will be seen as the ghost children. Her whole family will become the family of ghosts. People would decide not to talk to them. Some would even stone them. Others would even kill them. This is Africa. Not too far away from Africa. This is Ghana, Takoradi. This happened in Takoradi a couple of weeks back. Imagine this had happened in Bolga. Or this probably had happened in Zuarungu. or Tongo, or Bongo, or Zapsugu, or Tatale, or Duri Gaga, or Gaga Duri. Imagine what would have happened. Let us be responsible. Now, when I called and I was, I had some explanation that yes, it is possible that somebody who looks like is dead can come back to life, and they call it the Lazarus effect. One of the people I spoke to, they told me that. The Lazarus effect. How many more people will benefit from the Lazarus effect? And how many more people who should have benefited from the Lazarus effect are now resting in the morgues, refrigerators, cold and finished? To God be the glory. Cape Coast Hospital. I hear women go there with lumps in their breasts, and doctors ask them to pay for the needle they will use to inject them. 700 Ghana cedis in all for a woman who was a lump in her breast. What happened to the health insurance? When you vote comedians into power, this is what happens to you. When you vote all men and women into power, they don't care about you. They and their families can fly to any part of the world to treat themselves in first class 70-star hospitals. You will rot without the Lazarus effect. You will rot paying for needles that are supposed to be free. When will we develop? When would we be wise? When would this wickedness stop? When would this irresponsible life end? We need a strong, critical thinking generation. We all have to be mad. We have to move against disorder. To God be the glory. I leave it here. I know that today, many people who should have benefited from the Lazarus effect will not. They will be put in the morgue. They will die. I know that our doctors are overwhelmed with so many medical cases. And in order to please the multitudes, they will hurriedly jump from one person to the other without thoroughly investigating their cases. I love our doctors. I know you are overwhelmed. I pray that a day will come that all these problems can be solved. And it is easy to solve. Treat the doctors well. Let the doctors look prosperous. The nurses look prosperous. Many more people would want to be doctors and nurses. Treat the police good. Treat the soldier good. Bribery would stop on the streets. Treat all these frontline workers good. Treat all workers good. But no, politicians are so selfish, wicked. They only think about themselves. If this was the wife of a politician with the Lazarus effect, the whole world would have heard of it. I don't know who you are. I pray that if you are supposed to benefit from the Lazarus effect, may we have a mortuary man who will have patience for you so that you would enjoy the Lazarus effect, or else you will enjoy it in your grave. To God be the glory. My name is Blakk Rasta. I want to thank you so much. I appreciate you. I thank you for all the love. And I want to say, we miss Kwame Nkrumah. In the days of Nkrumah, this will never happen. Doctors were taken care of well. People came from all over Africa to benefit from our doctors. Nkrumah never traveled out of this country for medical treatment. He died in Bucharest, Romania, because he had been exiled. Today we miss you. Today we cry for you. And to all well-meaning politicians, this is the time to stand up and distinguish yourselves from the thieving ones, from those who have no aim but to steal and to rob. The youth's future is being stolen from them one after the other, and they clap for the old thieves who are stealing their destinies. To God the glory. My name Blakk Rasta.
Proud of farming crew, man. We are the king of Africa. Lord God have mercy. This one is a special dedication.